Okay, Roadkill nights next week. Pizza party next Thursday. Sick day next Friday. Roadkill nights next Saturday. This car needs to be together to run because that is what I'm taking there. So I don't know if it's going to make it. We got updates on that and where we're at with that. We got updates on 2.0. We got updates with the Haas machine. Stay tuned, guys, and thanks for watching. All right, we've definitely made some progress with 2.0 finally. So it sat here for a while. We had some of the stuff together. Finally, we're creating the time because drag week's right around the corner. We got to get this thing back together. But we do have the engine set in there. Engine's in place. I don't know if we're going to slide it forward or not, but that is together. Alternator in place, just basically working on the new parts and working everything through. There's the line for the fire system. We did swap out the fire system, so the new bottles, actually we didn't think we were going to fit them behind the seats, that stuff was going to go in there because these bottles are a little bit longer, but we did get those in place. We are switching some stuff around. I guess I'll cover some stuff with you, like EGTs. We're going to have to get these mounted in because we're going to race pack, or from race pack EGTs to Holley EGTs, because we're looking at possibly controlling some stuff with the EGT temperature more so than normal. We always monitor it, but possibly like with what happened with this car, should we have had something in there based on the EGT spike when it leaned way out, then we could have shut some stuff off and possibly helped prevent that situation from happening, at least as bad as it was. One thing we are going to do is we're going to move the EGT bungs. They're on the bottom of the header. When they're on the car, it's always a pain. It's always a pain. It seems like they go bad a decent amount, and it's always a pain to try and get one of those off and swap it out. So we're trying to make it more serviceable that we can swap those out when one does go bad, rather than just say, 2 and 4, they don't work. So that's where I'm with that. We do have a bunch of scattered parts laying around here, but a lot of the parts have made their way from the back room up here, which means that we're implementing those into place. One thing I'll show you back here is that the fuel cell. So a lot of work's been done to the fuel cell, trying to get it ready to basically weld it up. Based on the time frame, not making another one, was able to straighten this out pretty good. Hopefully tomorrow get this welded up so that we can start getting that in the car, because so many things work around that fuel cell. So as far as how the assembly of the car goes together, but getting that in, ProWorks, kudos to them. They're sending, we didn't even think about the, I don't know, the old one's on my desk, but basically for the fuel cap and getting a new fuel cap on, they're going to run one like on 1.0, which is like the billet deal. So that's 2.0 and where we're at. Like I said, parts are there. There's a lot of stuff to get done to have that thing ready for drag week, which is basically about a month away. So it's still got to get a decent amount of wiring done, but like I said, trying to get the stuff in place with that. Oh, I guess while we're on that, the batteries. I talked to you last week about the batteries and what we're doing with there. I showed you the new alternator in there, which basically that's same as it always was. But we did get the batteries mounted, so the batteries are in place. So as you can see, the twin batteries, so both these are 14 volt. I covered this stuff with you last week, so this is going to give us more consistent power. It's also a lot lighter, which would probably be the biggest thing with it, but the packaging was actually able to fit in there real nicely, so to basically go from the 1 battery setup to the 2 lithium batteries. So shout out to Excess Power on that for getting that to us, or those batteries to me. And fire system, engine in place, starting to mock stuff up. We did do lines. I mean, one line's been made that had to be in here to before everything went together, but so lines are in the works. We do have all the Earl's lines and stuff that Holly sent, along with the fancy crimp machine. So now we are doing all these lines in-house with the fancy crimps, basically using the Ultraflex. So they're top of the notch stuff. So that is where we are at with 2.0. Want to talk to you about tires. Aiden was able to get his tires mounted up. Hoosier QuickTime Pros. These actually have the DOT stamp on them. They do have tread, so that's what makes them technically a street legal tire. Now, QuickTime or Hoosier currently only makes those for 15-inch rims, which is a bummer because that was the favorite tire. That was the go-to tire because they used to make one called a Big Bubba. I guess there was a race down in, or there was a series down in North Carolina that was a DOT tire series that they had these Big Bubba tires, which were the 35, but a 16-inch rim. So 35 tall, 16-inch rim, I think 22.5, which is the same width as those, based on spec. But they had that series that got canceled. So all of us that did the stuff, whether it was me or Joe Barry or Jeff Lutz or any of those guys that ran those big tires, basically bought them till they couldn't buy them anymore, and then they just weren't available. Mickey Thompson came out with the street radio, which is this tire here. We have tried that tire on the track when it first came out. We've tried it on numerous occasions, all kinds of different tire pressures, and we've never been successful with getting that tire to work very well. But with the Big Bubba's away, that was our only choice in a DOT type situation. So the last 3 years, I've ran those tires on Woodward, and probably a combination of things, but one of the things is the tire. I could never get the tire to work. So therefore, always spin the tires no matter what. I can take all the power out of it. It is just horrible. I mess with the tire pressures, but we don't get a lot of test laps on Woodward, so therefore kind of just stuck with it. So as Vice Grip Garage would probably say, this is what I did, maybe it'll work, but it's probably wrong. I'm not sure exactly how he puts that phrase, but we dug out from up on the rack. So I'll say it was in a climate controlled area. These weren't just out back in the pasture. These have been sitting up on the shelf in the semi climate controlled warehouse. But this is my best set, which I kept, of my Big Bubbas. So this is actually a 35, 22.5, 16. So, and this has the Crucial insignia right here, DOT. So these tires are legal for Roadkill. I wouldn't run these tires on the track where I'm running 200 miles an hour plus, because I won't even look at the date code, but I mean, they're definitely old, but I don't think that they're dry rotted or anything like that. So I'm going to run those this year to see if that'll work out better on Woodward, because I can treat it more like my slicks. And long story short is that, or long story longer, whichever way, but the Quick Times, which is basically that same tire, but they don't have the mold. Multiple people talked to Hoosier to try and get those tires made again. I wish they would make a DOT stamped tire. So if somebody from Hoosier's listening, the Big Bubbas, please bring them back. I know that somebody said the mold got cut up and turned into something else, but man, would love to have the Hoosier DOT tires that fit a 16-inch rim, because there isn't one. Mickey Thompson actually stopped making their tires that fit a 16-inch rim. So basically just out of luck, unless we go to truck tires, which, I mean, on the truck tires, that's more for the street driving, and that's where you see the better tread, which is one of the deals I should definitely step up to, because driving in the rain, I've been caught in it too many times, and I'll say it as I say it many times, and I say it every time. I don't need to do that anymore. I need to get smart, and actually put on a street truck tire on the 16-inch rims for my street driving. So I don't have 15-inch rims that fit 1.0 or 2.0. They both run 16-inch rims. I do have a set of 15-inch rims that fit 2.0. The problem is those are down in Arkansas as mock-up rims on the Nomad. I could steal the radials off of the Nova and put on there because those are 15-inch rims in the same bolt pattern as 1.0 has. But like I said, I'm going to give those a try and see what happens so I don't have to make a bunch of adjustments to go over to a radial. So that is tire tech for today. All right, guys, current situation with 1.0. Doesn't have an engine. Hopefully, we're going to have the engine in time to early next week, get it in the car, be ready for Thursday night pizza party, Friday night sick day, and Saturday roadkill nights. Went through everything. As I think I said before, we lifted a ring landing at Rocky Mountain or at Midwest Drags, and so went through the engine. It had a decent amount. Well, I mean, it had 700 miles on it, 600 miles on it. So the problem is we need to do a rebuild every 1,200 miles. So therefore, wasn't enough to make it through another event as it was. So pistons needed changed anyway, but we went ahead and did valves as well. With the climate of how everything is right now and how long it takes to get stuff, that has proved to be a problem. We thought that we were just going to put the old valves back in it, possibly change them before the next event, but we needed pistons for sure. We thought that we would have the pistons way before we got the valves. Well, we have the valves, so thanks to Victory for getting us the valves in a few weeks. Pistons, we're still waiting on those. So hope that Steve has those pistons this week, get the engine together, get it in the car early next week, and then this will be ready for roadkill next week. So while we're on that subject, Sick the Mag is rocking. It is crazy. Talked to Luke yesterday, and he's trying not to be too excited about the whole thing, but I'm hoping to get to see a lot of stuff. I've seen onesie twosie stuff, but hoping to be able to get to see the whole thing this weekend. He will be up here next week covering the events for Sick the Mag, helping with some of this YouTube stuff. Obviously, you probably like his editing way better than my editing, but it is rocking. First issue is going to go to print here in the next week. So, because it's going to ship out. Posters, the first 1,000 people or whatever that, the first 1,000 subscribers, posters, most of them in the mail. There's probably 500-600 in the mail. The last 400 will be in the mail over the next few days. That's been a whole learning experience to ship 1,000 of something, especially when it comes to posters and tubes. But those are on the way. A lot of people have them. They're talking about that they have them. People that don't have them, they are coming your way very soon. Magazine, as the follow-up, is coming out soon. It's going to go to print. So if you want to get in on this the first issue of this magazine, make sure you subscribe. So get over Sick the Mag, or Sick the Magazine, or sickthemag.com, sickthemagazine.com. They both take you the same place. But get on there, get registered. I think he told me he's expecting it's probably going to be 160 pages. Like, he told me there was like 50 interviews, like from one of the event. I mean, like, it's crazy. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be like, maybe the good thing about it is that this isn't going to be the magazine I'm expecting, that you get it, you flip through it in 15 minutes, 30 minutes tops, and then you toss it in the garbage. This is the one that you're going to have to leave in the bathroom possibly the 3 months until the next issue comes out, because it might take you that long to get through it and be able to look through the stuff and read about the articles and stuff that are in there and truly embrace the whole thing. So that's where we're at with Sick the Mag. He'll be up there next week. Sick Pizza Party is next Thursday. That's Oxford, Michigan. You can go to the Bailey Racing Facebook page. It's talked about there. Basically, it's all Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. Donation, get you a slice of pizza. Gonna have a big turnout. There's gonna be a bunch of cars there, a bunch of cars that are going to participate at Roadkill, so cars with parachutes, fast cars, parachutes, not trailer queens, are going to be there having some pizza, hanging out. Friday, sick day. Registration, probably by the time you watch this, it has to be closed, but you can still go get merchandise. You can still go buy some shirts on www.bailey-racing.com. You can still go get some shirts for it. You can pick up Sick the Mag shirts. You can pick up Sick Machining shirts there. Like lots of good stuff over there. But 1.0 should be ready to go. All right, here we are. This week's Haas update. Last week, I did hear from Haas. I think I did my video was Tuesday. I heard from them Wednesday. They said they believe they had the firmware solution, the thermal compensation solution to it. Two-part deal. They said, or they were assembling a fan assembly for the back of the machine. It's actually running right now with the machine powered, so I never heard that run before when it just sat here with basically powered up. So I'm assuming that's that new fan that's in there. And then updated the firmware. They actually had the service guys were out today, put the firmware into the machine and did a test run with it. And I guess it was under 2 thou as far as I guess you'd call that the error factor with it. And that's basically what they said that this would be. Believe that that's going to be enough for what we're doing with the engine blocks and stuff. Once again, I'm not the expert on that. Obviously, I've got a lot of experts that watch this because the comments that you guys say and the stuff, I mean, I read a lot of that stuff and I definitely enjoy the feedback on it. I know that, I mean, one person that said they knew somebody that worked at Haas or whatever, and I mean, there was talk that they've never seen so much time dedicated to solve one problem. I'm glad that that's where it's at now. The problem or the only negative is that we've had the machine for 10 months going on 11. So I'm hoping that solution is here right now. They basically, when they called last week, they said they had that solution. They were making this fan assembly. They were going to have the firmware stuff ready to go. And then they were going to fly a guy from California in this week to make sure everything's all good to go. So we had a little issue because Jim, my main guy, his wife tested positive for COVID. So therefore, they're both vaccinated. It kind of put him in whatever the quandary. So we just called them and said, hey, unfortunately, we should push it a week because if he ends up getting any symptoms or anything like that. But so either way, they're willing to come out this week. So they're going to come out next week. But today we actually had, like I said, the service guy here. They ran it. It's got good tolerances. Jim's going to get fixture plates and stuff in here. The goal is he's going to have this thing ready to rough in the first engine block next week when Haas has a guy from California here for the week, basically helping things along. I mean, it's going to be our first time making something major in this machine since we've had it. First time for me ever making anything in a machine, and I'm not the one making it, but so hopefully next week's going to be an exciting week with that. So that's where we're at with the Haas. I think that we've turned that corner. As far as the other part and the monetary part of it, the negative is that we're 10 months into it. We've dug a hole that's huge. Basically living for 10 months when we thought that we were going to be making parts for 10 months. So Haas has said that they're not done making sure that we're taken care of in this whole matter. So I look forward to what that is. Obviously, I said I didn't like the idea of the coupons and stuff. That, like, I mean, that was whatever. I mean, I think the word that I put it is it's like putting Band-Aid on a broken leg. A Band-Aid on a broken leg. So I'm hoping that it'll give me a cast with a broken leg to help with that. But first and foremost, we need to get this making parts. So Porky here was my alternative income plan that I had to figure out what maybe we had to do to start getting some dollars out of this. So I'm hoping Porky doesn't have to go in here to the rotisserie and we just make the world's most expensive smoker. But either way, that's where we're with the Haas stuff. Let's see what else we got going. All right, guys. I got Tom Talk today. So, gonna try and keep a little brief. The videos have been getting long. I know it's hard to watch a lot of times it's hard to watch a 40-minute video, especially when you're trying to take a quick lunch or something like that. And you just want to get up to date on things. So, trying to condense today's video down. So, Tom Talk today, keep it a little shorter, but basically a valid point that I forget about. But somebody created the notion that 40 hours a week is full time, that 40 hours a week is like whatever. There's all the songs, working 40 hours a week for a living, yada, 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 send it down the line. Yep, that's one of those songs. But either way, there's 168 hours in the week. So, yep, you need to sleep, you need to spend time with family, you need to spend time with friends. But the 40-hour deal, I don't know of anyone truly successful that works 40 hours a week. Usually it's much more than that. I haven't kept track of hours that I put into doing stuff. I actually don't know that I ever did. So you got to look at it and say, hey, I mean, what is that? What's the bowling movie? In the Amish, whatever you do, we do 1.5 times. So they bowled whatever, 10 frames. So we bowl, or 1 1/4, we bowl 12 frames. I'm not sure exactly the whole adage or whatever in that movie, but a perfect example is that the people that are truly successful are putting in more time than anybody else. Whether paid, unpaid, it doesn't matter, but they're hustling. Too many people sit around and watch TV and put their 40 hours and say, I did my whatever. I did my 8 to 3 or whatever. I don't even know what 8 hours is, but that they did that time, and then that's good. So they put in their week, they got their paycheck, and whatever. They were just, I don't know, that they were lazy, the other part of it, but don't know. Average day, typically I'm up. I've been sleeping in longer lately than I used to, but basically I'm up by 6, and that's it. I mean, I work my full day. As far as I don't get all the work done every day. Unfortunately, I used to be able to get everything done that was on my plate, and I would do whatever it took to get to that point. Now I unfortunately kick the can to the next day a lot with things, so I keep piling stuff up, but I work. I make sure that I have time for family. I make sure that I have time for friends, and time to do the things I want. Obviously, I mean, I take lots of time to go race, and I take lots of time to do that. So therefore, if you calculate it out, I don't even know how that math works as to how much time gets spent on things. But the long and the short of it is that you're not going to get ahead just doing enough. You need to do more. So you need to do more than anybody you know, anybody around you, and also not alienate your family, not alienate your friends. I'm not saying write all that stuff off, but I usually if I'm working on the weekend, then it's whatever. It's a project. It's something separate, but during the week I put in a lot of time. Unfortunately, this year, I've only been to cottage once this year, so we're going up again this week. We got tubing weekend, but prioritizing taking that time to do that. And unfortunately, I have so many things going that some of that time has sacrificed this year. So I got to make changes with that. But life's a balance, and it's being able to balance all those things. But when I talk to you about being successful and what it takes to be successful, balancing those things isn't, and maybe it is that you put 40 hours a week in on your day job, so to speak, but your projects and stuff, I mean, you should be working dawn till dusk. I mean, that's the way the farmers did it. That's the way the farmers probably still do it. According to that movie, that's the way the Amish do it. I have no idea. But I can tell you that there's 168 hours in a week. If you're only working 40 of them, then there is a serious problem there. So get to work, put your time in, work hard. There is no free pass in anything. everything takes hard work and dedication, unless somehow you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. I don't know what that's like. I didn't live that, so I don't let my kids live that. And that's where we're at. That's today's Tom Talk. So, got it. Give me comments. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want to hear. I know there's a lot of stuff I still got to get to that everybody's talked about, but I appreciate the support that you guys are giving me. Like, pretty amazing that the comments that I get and the stuff that, like, I'll say I wish something helped. If it helped one person, that'd be a lot. And I mean, I get 1,000 comments about people that say that whatever, they listen to that and they appreciate that. So that makes me feel good that, hey, what I'm saying is passionate. But once again, I mean, don't take my advice. So I'm not that guy. So I can just tell you what I've done, what got me to where I am, and what we're working on and what we're doing. But that's all I got for you. So my channel's not like whatever. It's not shock and awe. So basically, I just give you the same stuff that this is what we always do. This is what we've always done. We're just taking you along on that journey and showing you what's going on. So sometimes that gets pretty boring, I know, but we're just trying to keep you informed. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.